Ms Swinson has suggested she would not work with the SNP to bring about a second Brexit referendum if the price tag was supporting the staging of a second vote on Scottish independence. In an interview with the BBC's Andrew Neil, the Liberal Democrat leader was adamant she would not put Jeremy Corbyn in Downing Street, but stressed that if a government of any colour put down a parliamentary bill to have a people's vote, then her party would support it to put a specific Brexit deal to the people with the option of remaining in the EU. When it was pointed out that the SNP's demand for supporting a second EU referendum would be to secure another vote on Scotland's future, Ms Swinson was asked what the Lib Dems would do in such a scenario. "I'm not going to support another referendum on independence," declared Ms Swinson. "We know last time we had the referendum on independence the uncertainty that it caused for Scottish businesses and for the economy, and when you look at all of the mess of Brexit right now, the last thing we need in Scotland is more chaos on top of that existing chaos." Asked directly if, as party leader, she would, therefore, sacrifice a second Brexit referendum if it came with a price tag of a second Scottish referendum, Ms Swinson questioned whether the SNP, who said they wanted to stop Brexit, would not support willing the means to do it in a people's vote. Pressed on whether the Lib Dems would pay the price of a second referendum in Scotland, she again insisted she would not support a second poll on Scottish independence. Asked even if that meant the Lib Dems would forego a second Brexit referendum, Ms Swinson replied, "I will vote for a people's vote on the Brexit deal, and SNP MPs will also vote for that legislation because they will know that's what people in Scotland want." But last night, the Scottish Conservatives insisted Ms Swinson had failed to put the future of the UK before another EU referendum. Andrew Bowie, the Tory candidate for West Aberdeenshire and Kincardine, said, "Ms Swinson must clarify her position immediately. We know Nicola Sturgeon will demand a second independence referendum as the price of her support for a Corbyn government. We know that Jeremy Corbyn is prepared to pay that price." Ms Swinson was asked to rule out being part of this grubby deal tonight and failed to do so, he insisted. "The Lib Dems need to be clear that they will never act as willing accomplices to a Corbyn-Sturgeon pact that would put the future of the UK on the line," added Mr Bowie. Also in the interview, the Lib Dem leader apologised for welfare cuts the party backed when it was in power with the Tories, admitting they had gone too far. She said, "Clearly, too much was cut. Clearly, not enough was raised from taxation. Some cuts were necessary, but the shape of those cuts, and see for more on this story, visit the news article link."